Patients said the Therac-25 had burned them. The machine reported nothing that could explain their injuries. For too long, the machine was believed. This file was never sealed. It was explained away. The Therac-25 was a radiation therapy machine. It fires a beam of radiation to burn a tumor away. The right dose heals. Too much destroys a body from the inside. Its makers relied on software, where the older machines had used physical safety locks and did not carry all of those hardware protections over. Increasingly, only code stood between a patient and a lethal beam. That code had been written years earlier for an older machine by a single programmer. And when the company certified the Therac-25 as safe, its formal safety analysis did not treat the software itself as something that could cause an overdose. The operator who ran it was never in the room. The operator sat behind a wall, at a console, watching a screen. That screen was the only thing the operator could see. In Tyler, Texas, a man named Voyne Ray Cox lay down for his 9th session, a treatment for a tumor on his back. Behind the wall, the operator typed in the prescription, caught a small mistake, and corrected it in a few seconds, faster than the machine could keep up. Then she started the beam. Something like an electric shock tore through Cox, and he tried to get off the table. But that day, the video monitor was disconnected, and the intercom was broken. Behind the wall, the operator could not see him and could not hear him. The console showed a warning it did not explain, Malfunction 54, and its dose monitor read 6 units delivered against the 202 she had requested, an apparent underdose. So she did what operators did dozens of times a day. She pressed the key marked P for proceed, and the beam fired again. Cox reached the door and beat on it with his fists. That was the only signal the machine could not erase. He said it had burned him. The machine reported an underdose. The machine won. Here is why. The flaw was buried in the software. Enter the prescription a few seconds too fast, and a hidden fault loosed the full, unshielded beam, roughly 100 times the intended dose, while the machine's own monitor recorded almost nothing at all. And it had raised so many cryptic warnings day after day that the operators had long since stopped fearing them. Voyne Ray Cox died months later. Cox was neither the first nor the last. The first had been a woman named Katie Yarborough. When the beam struck her, she told her technician, "You burned me." She was told that was not possible. That answer never changed. The company that built the machine was told over and over that it was burning people. Each time, it investigated itself, found nothing, and declared the machine safe. At one point, it claimed a single modification had made the Therac-25 at least 100,000 times safer, even though it still could not establish what had actually gone wrong. It trusted its own machine more than the burns on the patient's bodies. And while it stayed certain, the machine kept firing. Weeks later, at the same clinic, another patient was overdosed during treatment to his face. He died 3 weeks after that. It stopped because of a physicist named Fritz Hager. Hager treated the patient's account as evidence the machine had to explain. He worked with the operator, entering the prescription again and again, fast, until they could reproduce Malfunction 54 on command. Once they could, they measured what the console had hidden: an enormous overdose. No one had outsmarted the machine. Someone had simply refused to take its word and made it prove itself. It couldn't. The machine had been trusted too completely, for too long. Certainty, it turned out, was the most dangerous part of it. Of the 6 patients struck, 4 were later reported to have died. 2 survived, maimed for life. The people who ran the Therac-25 were not cruel, and they were not fools. In Tyler, the operator could not see the patient. She could only see the screen, but the same choice ran through the whole case. When the injured body disagreed with the machine's output, the output was treated as the more reliable witness. That has not changed. Somewhere tonight, someone is watching a dashboard that says everything is fine, while a person in the room is telling them it isn't. History keeps choosing the screen.